Hello, hello. Welcome to Valentine Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne. Please like and comment and subscribe and share this video if it seems like kind of sort of fun for you. I have been thinking about making a Valentine video. Not that you can tell by the ornaments. I should put hearts on that one. This is basically the size of a quarter of a piece of office paper. It's a little bit bigger for the cover, just to give some extra space so the papers don't get mashed. So you can see there's a little wrap around and there's a flap to open. And I just put on this side bendy fold, I made a bunch of little 1/8 inch scores. And I just put masking tape on the inside, which I now realize is less than beautiful. So I might draw on that or cover it or do something. Anyway, this is made from an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. And you know what? I'm going to do this with a piece of paper because paper is easier to fold. So you see that it's the width of the 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and this pocket is made by folding that up. I did a bad job of folding, but you get the idea. So here's the pocket on the front, and here's the pocket for the back. And I wonder if you can see, if I take those out, see that little yellow bit right there? I'll show you how to really make this, but not right now. But that's a little, I like these pockets having a bit of extra space, and if I just flat glue this down, first of all, it pulls the usable space in, and second of all, whenever you put, especially if you're putting a whole bunch of things in to the pocket, if it's glued, it really strains the paper. But if you do these little folded, it's just a piece of card that's as tall as the pocket, and it's folded in half, and I glue it to the back and to the pocket and put it down, and it lets me have the whole width of the pocket, and it gives a little extra space when you're putting a whole bunch of stuff in the middle. I think I said this is going to be a Valentine book, and I wanted to make some special papers, so this is part 1, I guess, and I want to talk about how I design these cards, lots of little cards, and why I choose the designs I do. This is like a little 6-pointed kind of snowflake, and I did that because I live in the northern part of the United States in Maine, and it gets cold, and very often we have snow on Valentine's Day. These are just little curly cues that I liked. We have some roses here, and on some of my tags and pages I put lines so that they can be used as a journaling card. Or you could put a little photograph or a picture of like little Valentine's Day candies or balloons or presents. So I wandered around on Pinterest, and I kind of drew some ideas that I found there. I think this was originally the picture that brought me to this design was a slice of orange or lemon or something This doesn't really look like a slice of orange or lemon, but that's where I got when I was drawing. This is something called a dangle, which is basically like doodling as if you were making little ornaments to put on a string and hang down. It's a little shrine. Oh, there's so many great shrines on Pinterest. And I found this bird, I think, in a craft magazine or something like that. And this was made with like little metal brads. It was something or other that had little metal brads on it. So, yeah. Pinterest is a super fab, great place to get ideas of what to... I mean, I kind of had it, like roses and hearts are all symbols for Valentine's Day. Sometimes birds are like little lovebirds. Anyway, so here is some roses, the bird, the word love. These spirals really don't have anything to do with anything, but it was something I drew on something else, and I just liked it's kind of wonky, the spiral, and I like that. And I love banners, these little garlands and pennant banners. So you could put a word like love, Love. I don't know. Like that. And of course, I like paper cuts. So there's that. Now here's this page that was here. Gets repeated. So they all get repeated within the pages of the book. I think there are like 4, 5, 6 of these. They kind of look like a snowflake, except snowflakes have 6 points, and these really, they started out to have 4 points with 4 smaller points on the interior, and then they were tall enough to decorate the page, but they were too wide, so I recut. This point was supposed to look like this point, but this was too much, so I just sort of recut it there. And there's one of my lined pages. And you'll notice that this page, I drew the cards first, the tags. And then when I was drawing the pages, I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. I like that. So I did a frame for the page that matched. You'll see a bunch of matching things. See, that looks a little bit more like a slice of an orange, but not really. But still, I like it. Here's another one of those. You'll notice that this part of the paper cut all look alike. And when I cut it, it had these tall diamonds. But when I tried to put these tall diamonds on the page, it was too wide. So I cut them off. I summarily cut them off. And then this one came out very square. So I decided to put it in the middle of a page. Kind of like how that's in the middle of the book. Yes, I will put little paper ornaments. So we're getting some more repeats here. There's a new one. Oh, and this pretty pansy, which here in Maine, those don't come out until the summer. So it's sort of a silly Valentine flower, which is in the middle of winter. But it's a flower, and that's for Valentine's Day. And there's another little bird. I've used this general style of bird for years. It actually looks a little bit like a roosting or resting bird, like it's sitting on a tree limb, not like it's flying, but its wings are going up. And yeah, so the word love. I thought about doing a bunch of words like you find on those little sweetheart candies, be mine and stuff like that. And I could have, but I didn't. I just used a couple of words. Here's some curly cues, and that is, there it is. There's the tag that I copied that idea from. La la la. And this bird again. So this was on one of the little tags. Yeah, these. So you can see that when I was designing the papers and a button, you know that song, button up your overcoat when the wind is free. Take good care of yourself, you belong to me. So that's kind of why I decided to do a button. And of course, anybody who knows me well, a postcard with, a Valentine heart on it, of course. So yeah, I guess these are ones you've seen before. Ooh, look, that's a new one. Yeah, I did a, what did I do? I should teach you how to do this flower again. I'll remember to do that. I will re-watch this video before I put it out to the world, and I will see Robinsunne make a little, wait a minute, where'd it go? Ta-da-da-da. Button. Come on, where'd it go? Yeah, that flower, wherever it is, that flower. Teach the people how to make that flower, because it's a really fun way to make flowers. And here is the pocket in the back for the bigger cards. I want to show you the papers. See, there's that pansy or violet or whatever that is. And there's the original. I drew the cards before I drew the papers. I think I just said that. So I really liked that. And I think what I did to make it fit wherever it is in here is I put it on my copier and made it bigger. And I added another row when it's on the pages. And another one of these little shrines, like imagine something being in here. I don't know, I haven't colored any of these yet. Here are these two wonky spirals. And this one I love a lot. It kind of looks like facets in some kind of a mosaic, maybe of shiny glass or mirror, something like that. There's that bird again. Yeah, so those go in the back until we need them in the book. This book has a 1/4 inch spine, and there are 2 signatures. 1, 2. And I don't know why I was being sort of lazy or something. I didn't put any, I know what it was. I folded the pockets up and glued them in before I had put some sort of reinforcing tape or paper or something on the inside. And I thought this is pretty narrow if I do 2 holes for the signatures. It just didn't seem like it would take the extra space. So even though there are 2 signatures, I sewed them both into the same hole, and hopefully that'll be a little stronger. So here's the book, and in this video, video number 1 in our little set of videos on this topic of making a little Valentine book, is I wanted to really encourage, this is so important for me, and I don't see this very often, of people drawing their own stuff. Now, a lot of the ephemera that people use is old-fashioned because it has to be something like at least 70 years old in order to be outside the copyright laws. So that means the sensibilities are of people who took a lot of time to draw very beautiful pictures of people and flowers, flora and fauna, animals of all sorts. And so the pictures that many people use for their ephemera are really gorgeous. What comes up for me, and this is personal preference, the stuff that's out there for ephemera that you can buy from people is it's amazingly gorgeous. And I have bought some, and I decided to not buy any more, like not as a really hard and fast rule, but just I love it when I push myself to do my own drawings. So here are the cards, and Amy from the Camden Library, our Wednesday afternoon, I will link that below. Robinsunne, remember to link this. It's put on by the library. It's totally free on Wednesday afternoons at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. We all get on a Zoom call and we learn and share cool journal-y stuff. Anyway, Amy had us make a page full of tags, and she's done some, and they're so cute. I love them. And I thought it would be, I already had this idea of making this journal. I hadn't made it yet. But I thought, oh, I could make it all with little Valentine images. So I did that. And then I made another one. And there's that wonky spiral and the bird and the not really like an orange. And well, there's also this one that has a little flora. And this tag, which is just geometrics. And I think when I color that, that'll be really pretty. And roses. And curlicues. And I showed you this one of the mosaic pieces. This one, which is like a path of pebbles or stars or something. So anyway, I drew this, and let me show you what I did. I don't think we talked about this in the group, but this was my idea. When I'm making a paper that I'm going to make here cards for, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 little cards, and then there's sort of a wide one, a really super skinny, and a medium. And that's what these are. So what I do is I draw a template page that I put underneath. And I put this and then another piece of plain white paper over the top, and I put it on a light box. If you don't have a light box, and it took me years to decide to spend the 100, I think it was about 100 when I got it, a nice light box that's big enough for office paper. And I just looked on, I think it was Amazon, it might have been Dick Blick, and they're now up to like $140 or something. But it's totally worth it. But if you don't have one and you don't want to spend your money in that way, try a window during the daytime. You know, first you tape this up on the window, and then you tape a piece of white paper over the top. And with the sun shining in the window or the light coming up the light box, you can see all of this. So what I do is draw, well, you know what? I'll do it in red, and it won't really matter. This is just the template. So what I do when I'm drawing is I will follow this line. I actually measured out all these corners of the tags first. And then right here, right in between the two tags, I come in just a little bit. So I don't follow the black line, I draw a new line. And then I draw the base a little bit differently. And then on this tag, that's not going to bump into anything, but I put a little space between the lines as I go. And like right here, I would draw the top of this tag a little bit lower, and that gives me room to cut. Let me show you. So you see here how there's a little space in between the tags. So that lets me come in and cut each one, and I still maintain these outline black lines, which if my tag is going to have the black lines, then I want the black line to go all the way around the tag. So that's how I do it. And yes, I don't have a perfectly steady hand, and these lines get a little wonky. And I've just decided that I'm willing to go there for the ability to make my very own tags that have my own aesthetic in the tags. So I showed you that. So there's the template, and here are the two, and I keep these, the two original drawings, and I keep them in a plastic, page protector, so that I'm always, when I make more copies, I'm always using the original drawing. I'm sorry. I bashed the camera. So I'm always copying from the original. Sometimes if you copy from a copy from a copy from a copy, it's the thing you're copying doesn't come out really clearly. It can get, the lines get a little fuzzy. So this keeps me copying from the original, and I put them in a page protector so that it'll always be flat and the corners won't turn. So once I had these two tag pages, I wanted to draw a bunch of papers, and I wanted these papers to be where is that? Here's this one. I wanted them to be a half a page. So there's that one, and there's that half page. So I printed out a whole bunch, and I printed them double-sided, so none of these pages are blank. They all have either lines to write on, or they have various pictures, which I could collage on top. I could put photographs in here. I could write a word across that on a little pretend banner. Yeah, all that stuff. So each one of these pages, I think I have 7 pages, and each one of them is meant to be cut in half so that that's one folded page, and that's another folded page. Ta-da. So let's try to not do that. These are the originals. So I have one, which actually makes 2 pages. 2, 3, 4. There's that pretty pansy and the love from the tags there. So yeah, again, I blew that up, enlarged it. There's that banner. Here's that bird and the curlicues. And here are the hearts. So, oh, here's the heart, multiple heart tags. There are 12 of them on the tag, and I enlarged it, but it still wasn't big enough to kind of fit this quarter page. So I added an extra row. So there are 15 hearts here on the page and 12 hearts on the journaling card tag, because the dimensions are different. It worked out like that. So the bird and the swirlies, and there are those curlicues on the frame, and my not quite an orange, and the bird and the roses. And these are actual paper cuts. Another reason why I keep these things in a page protector, because it's really easy to bend these little fluffies on the little pieces of the paper cut. So I did 2 in gray, and I kind of liked that, but then I decided that I liked it even better when I traced them. So I put the template page for drawing pages. So I did one template for the tags and one template for the papers. And then I would put the actual paper cut with little pieces of, I have that somewhere. I don't know where. Little pieces of washi tape. I held it down with washi tape. I don't know where they went. But I put this down with like washi here and here. And then I just traced the paper cut. And that's really fun because then you get to color it too. So again, I'm putting in lots of my sense of color, my sense of design. The book becomes, it's all about me. And I know we're not supposed to say that in our culture. We're supposed to say, oh no, dear, it's all about you. But when I'm making a book, it's all about me. Yes. I've been doing some work on what self-care and self-love is. And self-care and self-love is all about saying, not in every situation, but like a couple of times a day, we need to say, wait a minute, my life is all about me. And do whatever we need to do to take care of ourselves. And I promise you, I did not grow up in no part of my culture, not school, not church, not my parents, not the places I worked. It was never about me. Nobody ever wanted to hear about me unless my grades weren't good enough or something. But yeah, that wasn't the culture when I was growing up. Sit down and shut up was the culture when I was growing up. And so now that I'm an empty nester, yay, I get to have my whole life be about me. And it's just remarkable how nurturing that is. So yeah, so let me just explain this and then I'll stop. I went over many blessings to you.